Absolutely. So then moving on to our next one then, why do you think changing the date is not a good idea?
Okay, well, first of all, let me state up front, if it did get changed, I'm not going to protest or oppose it, but I am happy to express my opinion in this forum and other forums that um, it's it's not going to do any good in any practical sense for Indigenous people. So changing the date doesn't suddenly make people have better living environments or help them in any practical way. It might provide activists with some short, warm, fuzzy feelings for a few moments or a few seconds. But there's a couple of other reasons. I guess the most important reason I feel is if you do, well, first of all, the people wanting it changed do it on the premise that it is somehow hurtful to Indigenous people. Um, that spot on the calendar, 26th of January, where there happen to be celebrations of Australia is hurtful to people. That's absolute nonsense. Um, and if you then, legislate or whatever, get the date changed, that would just reinforce people's beliefs that the day really must have been hurting me, otherwise government wouldn't have gone to those lengths to change it. So that's the main reason. I just want to really emphasise: no, the day and the celebrations do not hurt anyone. It's just simply opportunistic offence. People just use it as an excuse to take offence, and offence is always taken, never given. Um, so the people aren't hurting in any way. And I mean, there's many Aboriginal people who celebrate that day. So why not?
If I can just expand upon that, I've got a sort of a bit of a history in theatre, and that's a very progressive sphere. There are I can already see posts from my friends who are very much against Australia Day, and they feel very strongly about something like this. So, are you saying that from that they've been essentially they're being told to be offended, but they're not really offended?
Yes, like I said, I any of us can make ourselves offended about anything. For example, and there's countless examples. We've seen the cancel culture with coon cheese and Chico lollies and Redskins and all that sort of thing. Apparently offending people. In my family, and indeed many other families, we love those little gollywog dolls. Right? They're just beautiful. We just love them. Yet some people say, "Oh, that's offensive." Well, how is it offensive? Oh, well, it just is. Absolute nonsense. I can remember, well, I was taught at school the term Aborigine is a noun used to describe um, Aboriginal people. So you can have Aboriginal, adjective, people, or just an Aborigine noun. And then overnight, it become offensive. And I've asked people, why is it offensive? And they just say, well, it just is. So, it's just absolute nonsense to something is offensive because, well, it just is. And other people are saying it, and I can even show you a government policy where they've changed the terminology, so it must be offensive. Just nonsense.
I distinctly remember a cousin of mine. She married a Sri Lankan man, and she had gollywog dolls because she said it's the skin color of my kids, and she had no problems with it.
Yeah, and some people will point out a particular history with those dolls, and I've seen conflicting reports about those histories. So I can never know for certain exactly what the correct history is. But some have said it was used to degrade black people, whatever. Well, let's suppose that was true. It's not what it's being used for today. It's a bit like when I read a quote that I like, and I believe it to be from a prominent person in history, and then I find out that it's questionable whether it was that person. Well, you know, I judge the quote on its content, and I'll say, look, this was believed to have been spoken by such and such. Don't know for sure, but I really don't care. The quote has value today. Those dolls serve a purpose today. So regardless of the history, let's judge things in the here and now.